Now people often ask, what are the easiest of all fish to look after? So here are the golden mountain clouds, which are these white ones with the, or sort of like a golden white with the red fins. They're very easy to keep, they're very easy to breed. In with these is also the zebra danios. Zebra danios would be next on the list as very, very easy fish to breed and keep. Now in here we've got some Medaka. Now Medaka, like this beautiful blue fella with the metallic spots through him. Very beautiful fish, very easy to breed. None of these fish require heaters or anything like that. We've got some golden Medakas here. Now peppered Corydoras are commonly in that crowd, and also the sucking catfish. So we don't have any sucking cats right now, but sucking cats will go around cleaning the algae in your aquarium. So that's definitely something worth looking at. Now, as far as a very, very basic setup for these fish are concerned, the first thing is the aquarium. So the bigger the aquarium you get, the more you can do with it, and the more stable it will tend to be. But let's say we get started with something like that. This is also an OptiClear tank, so the beautiful crystal clear color. It'll have the mat underneath the bottom. It'll have the lids that all go on there. Then what you do is you give the gravel a bit of a wash, and then you would lay the gravel in the bottom. Just a fine layer if we don't want plants. If we do want plants, we're going to have to consider a thicker layer. Then you want a filter that's very easy to clean. So these Aqua L's are very reliable and they're very easy to clean. So if we stuck that in the corner and then it's got a little sponge on it, and let's say every now and then if we notice that the amount of water coming out of the sponge was decreasing, like see here, we're getting nice surface agitation, and what we really want is to aim that outlet up so we're getting good surface agitation, and then that surface agitation is going to help our gas exchange and dissolved oxygen and so forth. So then over time, if we notice the filter reducing its flow, we're just going to pop that sponge off, drain a bit of water out of the tank, clean the sponge in the water from the tank and throw that away, and then put it back in. It like literally takes 1 minute to clean the filter. So cleaning the filter is super easy. Then we want a fairly holistic water conditioner. So this is a water conditioner that sort of helps the water in many ways than just aging the water. And then the next thing is feeding. It's really important that we feed very good quality foods. Now this one is my favorite food because it's full of actual aquatic ingredients. It is set at the absorption rate of the fish, so you don't need to feed much. But most of all, it's got a probiotic bacteria in it, which means when the fish poo, the bacteria in the poo physically eats the poo. The other thing that makes this superior to most other foods is this one is a cold extruded food, so it's not pressure cooked and processed. So now at this point, we've got our gravel in the bottom, we've got our filter on, we've got our surface getting agitated. Then we can go down and grab, let's say, a couple of zebra danios, a couple of mountain clouds, and then maybe a sucking catfish or something like that. The minimal amount of fish we have, the less fish, the waste the fish are producing, and the less maintenance the tank needs. So over time the tank will evaporate, so we're going to have to give a little top up every now and then. But the other thing is, if, let's say once a quarter, if you could do two things for us, grab your phone, make a good video of what's going on so we can see what's going on, and in the video we want to see any bits and pieces that you might have for the tank, and then bring us a water sample in. We can throw that through our spin test, and then our spin test will teach us all about your water, just in case there's something to guide you. So at the end of the day, there is no pet, no hobby that is cheaper and easier and lower maintenance than fish keeping, and that's assuming that you're going for something super easy like that. Now on the other hand, you could also start off without the filter if you wanted to, and then you could easily have those fish without the filter. In a perfect world, I would definitely add the filter, but once again, that's something you could add later. Something else that you could consider adding later would be a light. So there's various options to light the aquarium, so you might do that. But it's also really important that we keep the aquarium away from any direct sunlight, because we don't want too much sunlight going into the tank. And just be aware that a really basic simple setup like this, very cheap, very easy, but a lot of people confuse fish keeping with, let's say, reef